I'm calling to order the special meeting of the CUSD 303 School Board. Special School Board meeting on Monday, December 6th at 2021 at 5:59 PM. Ms. Marsan, the roll, please. I'm calling to order the special meeting. Oh, hi, that's me. Oh, you're making me listen to my voice. That's just cruel.
Mrs. Bell, Mrs. Bell,
Here.
Mrs. Fairgrave,
Here.
Mr. Lackner,
Here.
Mrs. McCabe,
Here.
Mr. McNally,
Here.
and Mrs. Barker.
Here. Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, it appears we have one citizen comment. Mrs. McCabe, would you please read our policy?
The school code provides for a public comment period at each board meeting, subject to reasonable constraints. The practice of this board is to limit public comment to 3 minutes per speaker to a total of 30 minutes per meeting. Speakers addressing the board are expected to maintain a reasonable level of civility. Also, personnel matters are sensitive and confidential. Comments regarding individuals should be respectful. Insults and defamatory remarks have no place in this setting. The board will terminate public comment if speakers cannot adhere to these guidelines. Please identify yourself at the beginning of your remarks.
Barbara Diepenbrock.
Hello, my name is Barbara Diepenbrock. I'm a rookie Citizens Advisory Committee member, also referred to as CAC, and a mother of a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old within this district. I come before you today because you have a hefty responsibility before you. I do not envy it. I, like many others in this community, find it easy to have an opinion on the matters of the school board and its members, but I know it is quite another perspective to actually be the members dealing with those matters. I want to thank the more than half of you that take the time to politely debate me via email or pick up the phone to discuss my concerns and the concerns that I am being approached with by my fellow community members. We most certainly do not always agree, but I most certainly walk away truly receiving what you have expressed to me. To the other members that have not responded to my concerns, I would really love the opportunity for you to have a discussion with me about what your stances are and why. I encourage you to give me a chance to understand your whys. Now, with regards to the concern I have for you tonight, you have 3 candidates for consideration. As it stands, you have the job of placing a second board member. We are in uncomfortable waters when individuals are being appointed to a position without an election. One of your candidates appears to maybe, possibly, perhaps have closer ties than is comfortable to some special interest activist groups within this community. The board should have received several pieces of information that has caused concern, and we implore you to allow the community to vote in any candidate that has such potentially strong ties to these initiatives and groups. An appointed and not elected board member should be as neutral as humanly possible. If this were an election, I think many of us would say, fine, let it ride. And we would show up to the polls and speak up about who should or shouldn't be charged with being the voice for our children's well-being. As it stands, we do not have the option for a community vote. So please honor America and our freedoms for elections by placing a candidate who has no controversy, conflict of interest, or possible agenda that will impede the progress our children so desperately and rightly deserve. Thank you.
Thank you. So that brings us to our next item. Do I have a motion to adjourn to closed session for the purposes of the selection of a person to fill a public office as defined in the Open Meetings Act, including a vacancy in a public office when the public body is given the power to appoint under law or ordinance, or the discipline, performance, or removal of the occupant of a public office when the public body is given the power to remove the occupant under law or ordinance.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Ms. Marsan, the roll, please.
Mrs. Fairgrave,
Yes.
Mr. Lackner,
Yes.
Mrs. McCabe,
Yes.
Mr. McNally,
Yes.
Mrs. Bell,
Yes.
Mrs. Barker.
Yes, motion passes 6-0. The board adjourns to closed session on December 6th at 6:04 PM.